Homer. The Iliad. There is the heat of love, the pulsing rush of longing, the lover's whisper, irresistible, magic to make the sanest man go mad. Hateful to me as the gates of Hades is that man who hides one thing in his heart and speaks another, even if who learns something once it hits him. The Odyssey. Of all creatures that breathe and move upon the earth, nothing is bred that is weaker than man. There is nothing more admirable than when two people who see eye to eye keep house as man and wife, confounding their enemies and delighting their friends. A man who has been through bitter experiences and traveled far enjoys even his sufferings after a time. Aeschylus. Agamemnon. There is no avoidance in delay. My will is mine. I shall not make it soft for you. They sent forth men to battle, but no such men return, and home to claim their welcome come ashes in an urn. The libation bearers. Who acts, shall endure. So speaks the voice of the age-old wisdom. Time brings all things to pass. No man can go through life and reach the end unharmed. Aye, trouble is now, and trouble still to come. The Eumenides. Unanimous hatred is the greatest medicine for a human community. My heart's a dance of fear. I have not need to promise what I cannot do. Prometheus bound. For it would be better to die once for all than to suffer pain for all one's life. For somehow this is tyranny's disease. To trust no friends. I gave them hope, and so turned away their eyes from death. Sophocles. Antigone. All men make mistakes, but a good man yields when he knows his course is wrong, and repairs the evil. The only crime is pride. A man, though wise, should never be ashamed of learning more, and must unbend his mind. There's nothing in the world so demoralizing as money. Oedipus Rex. To throw away an honest friend is, as it were, to throw your life away. How dreadful the knowledge of the truth can be, when there's no help in truth. Oblivion, what a blessing for the mind to dwell a world away from pain. Oedipus at Colonus. One word frees us from all the weight and pain of life. That word is love. Unwanted favors gain no gratitude. To speak much is one thing, to speak to the point another. Philoctetes. Once in a lifetime, the longed-for tidal wave of justice can rise up, and hope and history rhyme. I am glad to see you and take you as a friend, for one who knows how to show and accept kindness will be a better friend than any possession. The soul that has conceived one wickedness can nurse no good thereafter. Ajax. If you tried to cure evil with evil, you will add more pain to your fate. We who live are all phantoms, fleeing shadows. It is a painful thing to look at your own trouble and know that you yourself and no one else has made it. Herodotus Histories. This is the showing forth of the inquiry of Herodotus of Halicarnassus, so that neither what has come to be from man in time might become faded, nor that great and wondrous deeds, those shown forth by Greeks, and those by barbarians, might be without their glory. And together with all this, also through what cause they warred with each other. If anyone, no matter who, were given the opportunity of choosing from amongst all the nations in the world the set of beliefs which he thought best, he would inevitably, after careful considerations of their relative merits, choose that of his own country. Everyone without exception believes his own native customs, and the religion he was brought up in, to be the best. Nobody is mad enough to choose war whilst there is peace. During times of peace, the sons bury their fathers. But in war it is the fathers who send their sons to the grave. Men trust their ears less than their eyes. It is better to be envied than pitied. Circumstances rule men. Men do not rule circumstances. Of all men's miseries the bitterest is this: to know so much and to have control over nothing. Euripides. Medea. Stronger than lovers' love is lovers' hate. Incurable, in each, the wounds they make. Hate is a bottomless cup, I will pour and pour. My love for you was greater than my wisdom. Hippolytus. There is one thing alone that stands the brunt of life throughout its course: a quiet conscience. I have pondered on the causes of a life's shipwreck. I think that our lives are worse than the mind's quality would warrant. There are many who know virtue. We know the good, we apprehend it clearly. But we can't bring it to achievement. Heracles. I am nothing but words. Just a shape of dreams or night. Whoever wishes to acquire wealth or strength, more than good friends, thinks badly. The Bacchae. Talk sense to a fool, and he calls you foolish. Cleverness is not wisdom. Do not mistake the rule of force for true power. Men are not shaped by force. Thucydides. The Peloponnesian War. What made war inevitable was the growth of Athenian power, and the fear which this caused in Sparta. The strong do what they will, and the weak suffer what they must. No fear of God or law of man had a restraining influence. As for the gods, it seemed to be the same thing whether one worshipped them or not. When one saw the good and the bad dying indiscriminately. But war is a stern teacher, in depriving them of the power of easily satisfying their daily wants. It brings most people's minds down to the level of their actual circumstances. It will be enough for me if these words of mine are judged useful by those who want to understand clearly the events which happened in the past, and which, human nature being what it is, will, at some time or other and in much the same ways, be repeated in the future. My work is not a piece of writing designed to meet the taste of an immediate public, but was done to last forever. Aristophanes. The Acharnians. Comedy too can sometimes discern what is right. I shall not please, but I shall say what is true. Ah! The generals. They are numerous, but not good for much. He works and blows the coals, and has plenty of other irons in the fire. The birds. Men of sense often learn from their enemies. It is from their foes, not their friends, that cities learn the lesson of building high walls and ships of war. And this lesson saves their children, their homes, and their properties. The trickiest thing is the nature of man, apparent in everything. A prudent person after all can pick up something even from an enemy. The clouds. How can I study from below that which is above? 'Tis the whirlwind that has driven out Zeus and is king now. This art is worth more than 10,000 staters. That one should choose the worst cause, and nevertheless be victorious. The Ecclesiazusae. Woman is adept at getting money for herself, and will not easily let herself be deceived. She understands deceit too well herself. I want all to have a share of everything, and all property to be in common. There will no longer be either rich or poor. I shall begin by making land, money, everything that is private property common to all. But who will till the soil? The slaves. The frogs. High thoughts must have high language. Better not bring up a lion inside your city. But if you must, then humor all his moods. It is the compelling power of great thoughts and ideas to engender phrases of equal size. Lysistrata. You are fool enough, it seems, to dare to war with me, when for your faithful ally you might win me easily. No wild beast is there, no flame of fire, more fierce and untamable than women. The leopard is less savage and shameless. The knights, to win the people, always cook them some savory that pleases them. You possess all the attributes of a demagogue. A screeching, horrible voice, a cross-grained nature, and the language of the marketplace. In you all is united which is needful for governing. You demagogues are like the fishers for eels. In still waters they catch nothing. But if they thoroughly stir up the slime, their fishing is good. In the same way it's only in troublous times that you line your pockets. Peace. If it is necessary for us to do anything in view of peace, direct us and architect. I pained folk but little and caused them much amusement. My conscience rebuked me for nothing. You will never make the crab walk straight. Plutus. Look at the orators in our republics. As long as they are poor, both state and people can only praise their uprightness. But once they are fattened on the public funds, they conceive a hatred for justice, plan intrigues against the people, and attack the democracy. There is no honest man, not one, that can resist the attraction of gold. One's country is wherever one does well. The Thesmophoriazusae. One must not try to trick misfortune, but resign oneself to it with good grace. That man is sharp who can say what he wants in a minimum of words. I must think of something foolproof for a fool. We must look beneath every stone, lest it conceal some orator ready to sting us. Under every stone lurks a politician. The wasps. The love of wine is a good man's failing. It is so that you may know only those who nourish you. Hunger knows no friend but its feeder.